Hey there friends, Clever Trev here, and I got a quick little tutorial for you on how to clean out your PlayStation 4 by taking it apart. And you can clean out the fan, you can clean out the hard drive. Specifically, you're going to need a TR9 Tor-X screwdriver. It's a security screwdriver, so you might have to order it on Amazon or something. I'll throw a link in the description. You're also going to need a small Phillips screwdriver, pretty small one there. You might need a knife, be careful not to cut yourself. Some Q-tips for cleaning some stuff, some duster to blow out some of the dust and whatnot that's trapped inside, a rag, and then I've got some extra screwdrivers that you probably won't need. My PlayStation is really loud. I've got a lot of dust in there, and especially I got a lot of hair from my dog. So, let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is simply take off this top panel, and we're going to clean the hard drive. And what I recommend is kind of getting your fingernails right here and just pulling. I gotta put it on my lap here. So if you can see, I just kind of pulled it and it pops off. And then you just slide this puppy off. And this is pretty dirty. We'll just make sure you're always doing quick, short bursts with the duster. Otherwise it will accumulate liquids and it can ruin your system. That's not too dirty. And now what we have here is the hard drive. And all you need to open that is the Phillips screwdriver. And you just kind of unscrew this screw right here. Pretty simple. Don't lose that screw. And now because that screw is out, we can simply pull out the hard drive. Bam, just like that. So, doesn't look too dirty. Let's dust it off. Enough. And then if you see in here, there's plenty of hair built up and dust, so let's just dust that out. Alright, so now that we've cleaned out the hard drive area, we're going to put the hard drive back in. Nice and easy. Putting that screw back in here. Getting your Phillips. That's on there nice and tight, and then we're just going to pop the top right back on. Like that. Alright, so that was the easy part. The next step, we're going to actually be flipping your PlayStation over like this. And we're going to be removing some of the T9 screws. So the next step is taking these 3 screws out, and we're going to be taking off this whole panel. Now you can't see them right now because they have the security tape on them, so this is where you're going to need the knife if this is your first time doing it. So carefully peel off all 3 of these stickers. I've already done it once, and then I put them back on, so it should be pretty easy to take them off. Whoop. That just launched. Be careful not to launch. Alright, so now we've removed all 3 security tapes, and you can see these 3 T9 security screws are exposed. So that's the next thing we're going to do, is we're going to take all 3 of those off. Let's speed it up a little bit. Alright, so you see I've removed those 3 screws. Make sure you don't lose those. And now we're going to be taking off this panel. And you just got to try to feel it out. And just pop it off wherever you can. And it should just come off just like that. And look at how dirty that is. A lot of it accumulated on this side. So let's go ahead and clean that out. Some duster. Alright, so we clean that off pretty good. We can set that aside for now. So the next step is removing the power supply, and we'll be folding it over here, and we'll have a whole lot of room to access to clean the fan and the rest of the PlayStation This is where you're really going to see the results. And to do this, you're going to have to use your Phillips screwdriver to remove these two screws. Be careful with these little prong things. And then also you're going to need your T9 screwdriver to unscrew this screw, and this screw. So the bottom middle and the top right, top left. So, start with the Phillips. Carefully remove these two. And gently pull that out, and you'll see it's a little prong thing with a pretty long screw. Same with this. Be careful. Same screw. I'm going to move these to the side for now. And now next we'll need that T9 or even a T8. I'm using a T8. It actually seems to work better than the T9. To unscrew these. And now we've removed those three T9 screws. Set those aside. Now this part is very important. To be very careful. This is our power supply here, and I'm going to pull it out and fold it over here, and it's going to settle right here. And to do that, you kind of just jiggle it out. Use both your hands. Don't force it. What are we missing? Oh, I think I was stuck right there. There we go. It was kind of stuck right here. It's actually a little sticky. Okay, so this is connected right here. So very carefully pull this out and lean it this way and set it over here. And you can remove this, I believe. I'm not going to. And I think we'll just set this on top of this so it's not leaning so hard. Okay, so here's your power source. Here's your fan. And then here's everything in between. Make sure when you're using your duster on your fan, I've heard you want to hold your fan down while you blow. Otherwise it can ruin your fan motor or something. So first thing we're going to do is clean our power supply. And we'll start with some duster. Alright, so I'm confident that that's pretty clean, so we can move on to here. Slide her over a bit. And we're going to work over here by the power supply source. Look at all that dust go flying. I love it. And now as I blow into here, the fan will rotate, so let's make sure we don't allow that. And next we're going to clean out this fan very thoroughly. We're going to take our time. This is like the most important part as far as your PlayStation making noise. And if you can see, it's really gunked up right now. There's a lot of gross stuff in there. So the first thing I do before I really blow in there with the duster too much, we're going to first hit it up with a Q-tip. And we're going to go through every individual space here. And you can already see there's black stuff. Alright, we Q-tipped it pretty good. Now let's give it a little duster, holding the fan. Okay, now that you're confident and you've cleaned it out really well, you've got all this junk on your Q-tips, that's pretty gross. We're going to put it all back together now. So you're just going to reverse everything that we just did. Now remember, when you put in this power supply, be very careful of the wires and also these two prongs here. You have to line up these two prongs with those two slots. And also make sure this cord is kind of getting tucked in. You don't want it to be hanging out here. So I kind of recommend doing this kind of thing. You want to kind of go flat down, just like that. Looks good over there. Side. There we go. So kind of locked in place there. It looks good. It's flush. So now we're going to put back the screws, and we're going to start with these ones, these weird triangle screw things. And remember, these are facing inwards. Pop that one in there, we'll pop this one back in here. And we'll use our Phillips to screw those back on. And then we can put our T9 screws back in. Remember the two up here, and then the one down here. We'll start in the middle. Get our T8 or our T9 screwdriver out. And now we can put on our top. Oh, there you go. You want to start up at this front here. It should pop back down. There, it kind of locks into place. And then lastly, we're going to replace these three T9 screws. One, two, and three screws. And that's it, folks. It'll be running as smooth as silk. If that helped you, give it a like and a subscribe. My name's Clever Trev. Game on.